Stop, Sparrow. Go lay down. Go ahead. Go. Go lay down. Go, go, go. Can't see anybody. Good morning. Hey, Pat. Where is everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Coffee Talk. How is everybody doing this morning? It's Friday, which is very exciting, because that means the freaking weekend is coming. We're about to get Freaknik up in here. I swear, every time I try to read without my glasses now, my eyes just water. Welcome to 41. Almost 42. It's good times. So I really want to talk to y'all about what happened last night. Because I am, like, baffled by who we have become with social media. Blows my mind. So, I would like to just preface this coffee talk with, I am a human being, okay? I am not Coffee Talk. I am not Instagram. I am a woman, a human being who gets tired, who gets hungry, who gets irritable, who gets a stomach ache, who has to take a shit, who fights with her husband, who, like, you know, I'm just like you. And I understand that your lens can be warped because you only see me on Facebook, or you only see, I didn't say yet, Karen, what happened. I'm going to tell you. You only see me on Instagram, or you only see me on Facebook. So you're thinking, this is Jamie. This is this. Okay? Here's the thing. If I have done nothing over the last 3.5 years, I have tried really hard to encourage us to embrace the human connection. To remind us that sometimes when things happen, not to take it personally. It isn't about us, right? Last night, Michael and I are on our way to date night. So happy to be alone. So happy to, like, whatever. But life is not perfect, right? Things come up. People feel certain ways. I desperately wanted to have a drink, but I'm taking antibiotics, so I can't have a drink. So I say to him, on the way from the house to the restaurant, I'm not drinking tonight because I'm taking Cipro and I don't want to drink on antibiotic. Okay. As we're walking into the restaurant, I go, Jake's going to ask me for a drink. I'm not drinking. Okay, great. We get into the restaurant. Jake asks me for a drink. Jay, you ready? I say, no, thank you. I'm not drinking. And Michael looks at me and goes, you don't want a drink? Okay, I just told you in the car, I'm not drinking because I'm on an antibiotic. You said, okay. Then I told you from the car into the restaurant. How is it possible that you forgot the two things I told? What? So, anyway, in the middle of me whispering in his ear, okay, how is it possible that you could forget that I'm not drinking? I just told you. He's like, oh, right, you did. Okay, so in the middle of this, I see a man at the bar pointing at me Now listen, I want you to really listen to me. Please, I am asking you to just listen for a second. Dear God, can someone in my life actively listen to me? Okay? In the middle of this conversation with my husband, I see a man at the end of the bar whispering to a woman about me, pointing like this. She looks at him. He says something. She looks back at me, right in my eyes, right? Looks back at him, back at me, to which I go, hey, yeah, it's me. Hi. Right? Okay, that was the whole interaction. That was the entire interaction. He looked at me, pointed, whispered. She looked over, looked back at him, whispered. They both looked right back at me in my eyeballs, didn't wave, didn't say, hey, Jamie, nothing. Just stared at me. So I said, hey, yeah, it's me. Okay. Fast forward, I get home from dinner. I go on Instagram, and this woman from the restaurant commented, no, Joyelle, you're not lost. I'm about to tell you what it is. I'm telling you, y'all don't want to mess with me today because I am in a stank ass mood because I am really trying to figure out the nerve of people and what social media has done to the human connection. Really. So I get on Instagram, okay, and this woman writes something like, I'm paraphrasing. Wait a minute. All right. Kathy, you're blocked. You can't be telling people to shut up. I don't know who you're talking to, but if you're talking to me, you're blocked. Okay. Hold on. Hear me out. She says on Instagram, something like, I don't know anymore about you because we saw you tonight and your reaction, hey, yeah, it's me. Nobody asked you. Nobody asked. Okay, now let me get this straight. Let me understand this. Grown woman who's a teacher in Homewood. Let me get this straight. You saw me to my face. We were in person. Okay? We were in the same restaurant. In person. You had an issue with the way that we had an interaction. So instead of saying something to me to my face in the restaurant, you decided to leave the restaurant, go on my social media, my free app, and scold me like a child? Is this what we have become? We can't even speak to each other anymore? Now we run away and we go on social media? If you felt that I didn't give you the reaction you wanted, if you felt I was full of myself or hey, yeah, it's me, whatever, why didn't you just get up from the bar and go, hey, I'm sorry, we were pointing and whispering because we saw it was you and we were trying to figure it out, whatever. I am not obligated. You are not obligated to understand every interaction that people decide to have with you. So, anyway, listen, here's the thing. I'm cool. I really am cool. If you meet me or you see me and the interaction doesn't feel authentic, like it doesn't feel, like if you're like, that's weird, that doesn't feel like Jamie, come speak to me and say, Jay, I was whispering or I was pointing or I was whatever because we were trying to figure out if it was you or we were trying to get your attention. I will say, okay, guys, I have bouts of insecurity too. Sometimes when people point at me and whisper, I feel some type of way. I'm not perfect. And then when I respond to her and I say to her, I don't know what you were expecting because you were pointing at me and whispering, and how was I supposed, whatever. She then dismisses me very passive aggressively and tells me, go have fun with your husband. Girl, I could type this to you with my husband 9 inches deep. Okay? Don't ever tell me what to do. What is it about grown women going on social media to scold other grown women on their platform? I must live in I do not understand. Listen, I am so far from perfect. I am so far, and she wasn't bullying me. She wasn't bullying. Let me say that. I take that word very seriously. She was not bullying me, but she wanted to shame me. She wanted to scold and shame me. I'm not your student, chick. You saw me in my face and had nothing to say, but you came on Instagram to scold and shame me. I'm 41 years old. You want to come pay my house note? Come pay my mortgage, and then maybe I'll think about letting you scold me. Don't wag your finger at me. I'm a human being with feelings. I'm not a puppet. You don't get to decide how I react when you point and whisper at me. You don't get to make that decision. I think, and then people telling me get new material, blah, blah, blah. First of all, I don't get paid for this. That's the other thing. This isn't a job for me. Okay? She was not bullying me, right? But my issue is the human connection is about, look, we don't have to say bad words about her. I'm sure she's a delightful person outside of our interaction. My point of sharing this with you is when you are face to face and if maybe you're intimidated, you don't want to say something, send me a private message. Why don't you just send me a private message and say, hey girl, I saw you out tonight. I didn't really like the way things went. Here's how it made me feel. I would have been like, girl, I am so sorry. Here's the way I received what was happening. And here's why I reacted that way. I got it. Send me a private message. And I will totally, I can receive it. I am a human who wants to receive the message. If I can be doing better in this life, I want to be doing better. If you're pointing and whispering at me with the best of intentions and I misread that, give me the opportunity to understand what was happening. Come talk to me in person or send me a private message. But if you jump on a free app to scold me and shame me, you lost me. You lost me. How can I receive your message if that's how you're delivering it? I can't receive that. I just can't receive that. And by the way, a lot of people can't receive that. It's really very simple. Guys, listen, I don't want to be an asshole any more than you want to be an asshole. But sometimes people push you to, and look, you know what? The truth is nobody can make me feel anything. I am in control of my emotions. And in that moment when they pointed and whispered, normally, you know what's so funny? Normally, I am in the right mind frame to be like, oh, they're trying to figure out if it's me or not. And I can wave and be like, I can receive it anyway. You know what I'm saying? But last night, I don't know what it was. I was not in that space. I was just not in the space to interpret what the pointing and the whispering was. And when I smiled and was like, hey, it's me, they smiled and I was like, okay, I don't know. And the thing is, I think the reason that she felt, here's the truth. I think the reason that she felt slighted was because I have presented a Jamie that will always do the right thing. So I think she was like, oh, you're not who you are. You don't walk the walk. You snapped. You did this. And you know what? Maybe she's right. I had an off night. Like Sparrow, go out of my crotch. I don't know. But the real issue for me is not even that. The real issue for me, Heather Pierce, maybe you're right. Maybe she was embarrassed that I didn't have a better interaction with her. But the real issue for me is not even how that went down. The real issue for me is that you come on social media to scold me and shame me about an incident that you only have one side of. You didn't know how that made me feel. Then you want to make it worse and come on my page and say something? I don't owe you anything. Like, I don't know what she or anyone thinks I owe them. But the answer is nothing. And I would say 99% of the people who meet me have very pleasant interactions with me. But the thing is that we are human beings. When did the human connection stop? You feel some type of way, I'm standing right there. Why don't you just get up from your bar stool, walk over and talk to me? Why would you wait and then go on social media to shame me? Girl, come on. I'm 41 and you looked easily 55. So, anyway, I'm just saying. Hold on. Jim, that is not true. She was not with her husband. She was with a friend. Please don't say things, Jim. That is extremely, extremely irresponsible. The woman told me who she was with. Okay? Y'all, people on... Okay. Jim is lying. That is not true. Okay? The woman wrote on Instagram, I was with a friend. She did not say, I was with my husband and we just came from the hospital. Like, y'all, you know what? This is God's way of telling me to log all the way off today. And that's what I'm about to do. Because for some reason, the devil is testing me. I don't know why. It's early. I don't know what's happening in this world. But anyway, she doesn't even have to apologize to me. You know what? I don't even care. I don't need an apology. What I need is for people to understand that the human connection applies even when you're not warm and fuzzy. The human connection applies. Okay? Jim's gone, y'all. Don't worry about Jim. If you see somebody and the interaction is not what you expected or what you were prepared for or whatever, speak to them. And if you can't speak to them in person, send them a private message and say, hey, was something going on? Because that's not like you. Anyway, blows my mind. It really does. And she wasn't bullying me, and I didn't feel bullied. And you got to wake up pretty early in the morning to bully me, y'all. I didn't feel bullied. I just, don't shame me. Don't scold and shame me. And also, I think I'm very sensitive about that, like passive-aggressive scolding, because my mother did that to me my whole life. So at 41, I am in a certain power place where I will not allow anybody to shame or scold me. I am too old and have worked too hard to have grown women wagging their finger at me. Don't make me tell you where you could put that finger. Okay. Anyway, it's Friday. I love y'all so much. I got a ton of work to do, but I am so happy it is the weekend. I am not giving this one more ounce of my energy. I love you all so much. So much. Crystal, I love you back. Have a great, great day.